Hello everyone, my name is Cecilia Towns. I'm the Sporty Esquire and you're here with me for another episode of Working Women Wednesday, the series where I share with you the things that I've learned and the things that I'm learning from my career as an attorney and entrepreneur and my former life as an athlete. Last week I shared with you the importance of building strong alliances and partnerships and teams in terms of executing your vision or your goals. And one of the reasons I brought that message to you was because of the success of the GladiatHers Summit and how, it wouldn't have been a success if it wasn't for the partnerships that I was able to form through that process. In continuation of sort of the lessons learned from the summit, I want to talk to you today about the power of persistence. Yes, the follow-up, the idea that you keep going until it's an absolute positive no and you have to go in another direction. One of the things that I have learned over my life is that if you believe in something, if you have a vision for something, you're going to have to chase it pretty relentlessly. You're going to have to be willing to go after it with a sort of fervor that some people might say is crazy, that people might not understand. But if you truly believe in it, then you're going to make sure that your follow-up game is heavy, that you are persistent but not being too pushy. You will find the line. You will figure out how to toe the line in order to get with it what you want. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today, the importance of being persistent and executing and trying to execute your vision. So one thing I want to say is that you cannot be too shy. You can't be shy. You can't be bashful. You can't be too proud to beg, okay? When we were trying to, get tickets sold, when we were trying to get sponsors, we asked any and everybody. We asked people multiple times. We asked people in different ways. I can think of some of our sponsors who, when we initially asked them to sponsor, it was a no. And then we said, okay, well, that's a no, but what about helping us in this way? And so it really is important, and we ended up getting them, So it really is important to not really be willing to take no for an answer all the time. If you get a no, follow up with an alternative for them. Again, ask any and everybody. We had sort of form letters for, and I don't mean any and everybody, but I mean any and everybody who you think would add value or has interest. We had a great lineup of panelists and speakers, but those people weren't the only people that we necessarily asked. We didn't always get responses from other people, and so you keep plugging at it. You keep going. We had some hiccups with some of our speakers, and you would never know it, but it's because we plugged through, and we didn't take no's for answers. We didn't take silence for answers, and that takes me to my second point, why the follow-up is so necessary. Is because sometimes we hear silence. We will ask a question, we will ask for a job, we will ask for someone to sponsor us, we will whatever we're asking for, and we don't initially get a yes. So we hear silence. You have to know that silence is not a no. Sometimes silence is, oh, I'm considering it. Sometimes silence is, oh, I didn't see it. Sometimes silence is, oh, I love this. I'm already talking to people about it. I just haven't responded to you. So when you get silence, you really need to follow up. You really need to ask people, hey, did you get my email? Did you get my phone call? And not be, again, bashful to make those follow-up interactions. Because some people need reminders. Some people will see things and be interested in it, but they forget. And so it really can be powerful to just follow up with somebody and be persistent and say, I haven't heard a no from you yet. I haven't had the interaction that I want to have with you yet. So I'm going to keep plugging away at it. The third thing that persistence does is it proves that you really have the desire to do whatever you're trying to do. A friend of mine and I were talking, and we got to talk about mentors and mentees, and I was sharing about one of my mentors, and he told me, he's like, a lot of people want to be my mentor, but I don't let anybody even think they're going to be my mentor unless I give them the runaround first. He said, if they're persistent, if I don't return their calls, I don't return their emails for a little bit, I make them chase me to get my phone number, and then they still hang around, to me, that's a sign that they really want to work with me. They really want to learn from me. They really want my help. And there's a lot of people who think like my friend. A lot of people believe that only if you want it bad enough to follow up and to sort of chase after it, is it worth their time to help you. There are a lot of people actually who think like that. And so when you are trying to execute your vision, you need to remember that there are some people who are willing to help you, but only if you prove how much you want to be helped first. So don't be too bashful to be persistent, because persistence really is key to executing your vision. Don't be too embarrassed to ask. I'm telling you, I got a lot of no's, but I got a lot of yeses, because I asked often. I asked a lot of people, and if I got a no, I kept asking anyway until I got to my yes, or I got to the final no, and I knew this is no for now, but next year I'll be back. I'm persistent, and I would recommend that for whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to break into the sports industry, if you're trying to break into any other industry, if you're trying to host an event, you're trying to get people to believe in your idea, just be persistent. I promise it pays off. This has been Cecilia Towns, the Sporty Esquire, for another episode of Working Women Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you're following myself and Gladiators on social media. We're both on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And I hope to see you here next week. Bye.